Kaveh has to be my least favorite of the Sumeru cast, because of how Hoiverse went around introducing him, but that's neither here nor there. But even then, I can acknowledge that the way he's sometimes represented is untrue to his character. Female characters, or any character that shows feminine traits, tend to get treated as less than their more masculine counterparts, because misogyny is still a thing. And ironically enough, or sadly enough actually, a lot of these are by women themselves. In this video, I will be talking about the infantilization or dumbing down of characters like Kaveh. Kaveh is a feminine character, there is no denying that. Depending on who you ask, however, they'll tell you different traits that make him feminine to them. His feminine traits, at least from my observations of his fandom, seems to be he has feelings, knows how to dress, looks like his mom, likes art, and just his overall design. While Kaveh can come off as androgynous, you can still tell he's just a man with feminine features, which is fine. His design is one of the best in game, and him looking like his mom is a cool thing to add to his character. He is a feminine character with a feminine design and certain feminine traits, but he's still a man. I don't know why that is so hard for people to comprehend. I'm gonna say he gets treated like a woman a few times in this video, but not because I think this is how women should be treated, but rather because he gets treated in the horrible ways that women get treated because of his femininity. Most of the misinterpretation he receives are from shippers. Nobody's surprised. I'm getting this out of the way first. This video is not an invitation for you to be homophobic or rude to the people who ship them. Okay? Good. Rather, this video is about people who belittle Kaveh for being feminine by reducing him to nothing more than the other half of his ship with Alhaitham. People who hate the ship tend to mischaracterize the ship itself, not necessarily the characters separately, and when they do choose to attack the characters, it's usually both of them, at least from my own personal experiences. While they also suck, they are not the lucky people of today's topic. There is nothing inherently wrong with the ship itself. By all accounts, I understand why people would ship them. Even I enjoy the content sometimes, when it isn't accompanied by an annoying person shoving it down my throat and telling me I'm homophobic if I don't like it. But the way he is reduced to nothing but that bugs me. Alhaitham also tends to be mischaracterized in the ship, but this video isn't about him, so let's leave it at that. Kaveh is usually treated as dumb and weak, without Big Daddy Alhaitham there to help him. I can't believe I just said that. Ew. Moving on. Kaveh, the well-renowned architect, one of the best in his field, if not the best, is reduced to dumb and weak because he has feminine traits. Said feminine traits are literally, oh, he has feelings and knows how colors work. Like really, he gets treated as the woman in the relationship, which is just as misogynistic as it sounds. These sort of things usually happen when straight people, specifically straight women, who fetishize gay people ship gay characters. They tend to push toxic heteronormative roles onto the characters. Since Alhaitham is more masculine, he gets the protector, strong, smart role. And since Kaveh had the audacity to have feelings and knows how colors work, he gets reduced to emotional, weak, and dumb. Even when there are no women involved, they manage to be misogynistic. There is nothing inherently wrong with being a straight person who enjoys gay content, but when that's the only thing you enjoy, it gets kinda weird. I would understand why a gay or lesbian or straight person would only enjoy content catering to their own sexuality, since we tend to gravitate towards things that we can relate to more, but for a straight person to only enjoy and obsess over gay characters or characters they perceive as gay, it just feels off. And this is coming from someone who had a denme phase. If you don't know what that is, good for you, and if you do know what that is, my condolences. It's weird, and it gets even worse when you start pushing toxic heteronormative ideologies onto said gay characters. I would wager my left pinky toe that Kaveh is smarter than Alhaitham. One is a literal architect, a major that requires a crap ton of math, and the other is what, a linguistics major? Like, I love Alhaitham, but if someone is going to be labeled dumb and bad at math in their relationship, it shouldn't be the literal architect. Not that I think either of them are dumb, but it baffles me that despite how many times he's referred to as smart, even by Alhaitham himself, people will still dumb him down to fit into a stupid little box just to ship him with Alhaitham, which is so unnecessary. Unlike some Genshin ships, they're actually well written, and you don't have to go through loops and hoops just to justify shipping them. You don't have to carve away his characters to shove him into a box. The ship is better when you don't misinterpret either of them. They work well together, and while the fandom that surrounds them tends to make me not enjoy most of the content, I can still see that it is a good ship with actual basis, and not just, oh, they looked at each other, so they're obviously dating, and if you don't agree, you're obviously homophobic, or better yet, you hate straight ships. Okay, shut up. You're actively ruining a perfectly good ship by ruining the characters involved. Someone is gonna come and be like, I headcanon him as dumb at math because I'm dumb at math. It's just a headcanon. Why don't you headcanon yourself a passing grade? Why don't you headcanon yourself some brain cells and comprehension skills while you're at it? Some of y'all genuinely don't know what a headcanon is. Headcanons are supposed to work with canon. It's not just you making things up for the shits and giggles that make no sense in canon. You could headcanon he does math with his fingers, because while we have never seen it, it can still work with canon because counting with your fingers doesn't make you dumb. If you headcanon him in a way that makes him appear stupid, that's not a headcanon, that's a completely different character. You might as well just make an OC at this point. Kaveh being reduced to dumb and weak is just good old-fashioned misogyny. The man gets treated like a woman, air quotes, because he has stereotypically feminine traits. It is such a shame to see such a complex character get reduced to nothing more than this. He has feelings, he can be naive at times, he believes in the good of others, he has a very optimistic outlook, even to the detriment of his own self, but he isn't stupid. He knows what he's doing, but he refuses to become a pessimist. He has every right to be, and yet he keeps his head up. He's an intelligent and kind soul. He is a beautiful character, both design-wise and writing-wise. I still don't really care for him, but for the love of God, can this community try not to ruin a character for once? Like, we barely get well-written characters. Making this whole video is actually making me like him more. This poor man is getting treated so horribly by his own fandom, and it's just so sad. I haven't been on Twitter for a hot sec, but last time I was there, people were either frothing at the mouth, being upset, and arguing that he isn't feminine. He is. Him being feminine doesn't make him less of a man. Get over it. Or using his femininity to discredit him, which is just gross. You are allowed to not like certain characters for whatever reason. Maybe not even a reason. I have characters in Genshin that I don't like, and if you asked me why, I'd probably just shrug my shoulders. But you not liking a character doesn't give you the right to mischaracterize them. And even if you do like them, you don't get to destroy them to fit your own narrative. If you truly loved a character, you wouldn't have to carve off important parts of them to shove them into a stupid box that fit what you want them to be rather than what they actually are. I have another character I would like to briefly mention in this video. While I will make a dedicated video for her soon, I feel like she deserves at least a mention, and that is Furina, the queen herself. Furina gets the infantilization treatment from two sets of people, the ones who ship her with Neuvillette and the ones who ship Neuvillette with Wriothesley, but specifically the variant of those shippers that also see her as Neuvillette's daughter. Like Alhaitham and Kaveh, neither of these ships are inherently bad. I personally shipped Neuvillette with Wriothesley in the beginning, and then I moved to Neuvillette with Furina, Wriothesley with Clorinde, and Navia with Clorinde, because why not? Both are good ship, and I feel like Clorinde deserves both. But the way certain characters are represented, specifically Furina in this case, is just bad. When shipped with Neuvillette, she is treated like an incapable child that can't do anything without Neuvillette, but when she isn't shipped with him, she's treated like his daughter because she's short and cute. I don't mind the interpretation that they're father and daughter. Do I think it's kinda dumb because they tend to just reduce her to a child? Yes, but I don't mind it. I just want to interact with it. But the thing is, this lukewarm take is usually used against anyone who dares ship Neuvillette with her. By completely ignoring how strong of a character she is, they turn her into his child, while Sijuan is right there. She gets treated like a child no matter the situation at this point, and I think it's better if she isn't shipped with anyone, and is no one's daughter. Just let her be her own character. If Hoyoverse doesn't fumble a character, the community will. There's literally no winning. Anyways, this video was very fun to record, even though it's like an annoying topic. I don't really care for infantilization of characters, especially when they're like very feminine. Like, you can tell why people are infantilizing them is because they remind them of women, and it's so annoying. Let Kaveh be feminine without ruining his character, okay? Him being feminine is a fun part of his character. Leave him alone. Leave Furina alone. Tell me your thoughts on the topic. Any characters or ship you feel like people are misrepresenting that I could potentially talk about? Comment them down below. That's all I have for today. Subscribe and see you whenever.